The message arrived in our family group chat at 4:23 p.m. on a Wednesday, 3 days before Mom's 55th birthday. I was in the middle of reviewing acquisition proposals for my hospitality company when my phone buzzed with a notification from Thompson family. My sister Jessica had typed, "Family discussion. We think it's best if Lily doesn't come home for Mom's birthday this weekend. We don't want any drama on her special day." I stared at the message for a long moment, watching as the other family members started reacting with thumbs-up emojis. My older brother Mark added, "Agreed. Mom deserves a peaceful celebration without any tension." Then came Dad, "We love you, Lily, but maybe it's better if you sit this one out. Family harmony is important." I set my phone down on my mahogany desk and looked out at the downtown skyline through the floor-to-ceiling windows of my corner office. 26 floors below, people were going about their normal Wednesday afternoon routines, completely unaware that somewhere above them, a family was collectively deciding that their youngest member wasn't welcome at their mother's birthday celebration. The drama they were referring to was my decision 6 months ago to finally tell them the truth about what I did for work. For 3 years, I'd let them believe I was struggling as a freelance event coordinator, taking on small weddings and corporate parties to make ends meet. In reality, I was the CEO of Meridian Events, a luxury hospitality company that managed $89 million in annual revenue and had just been featured on the cover of Hospitality Business magazine. The revelation hadn't gone well. Instead of celebrating my success, they'd accused me of lying, of making them look foolish, of being too good for the family now. Jessica had been particularly upset, claiming that I'd made her feel stupid for constantly offering me financial advice and job leads over the years. "You let us think you were poor," she'd screamed during that disastrous family dinner in March. "You let us worry about you while you were secretly rich the whole time." I tried to explain that I'd wanted to know if they'd love me regardless of my financial status, but that had only made things worse. Mark had accused me of playing games with their emotions. Dad had said I'd shown a lack of trust in the family. Mom had been the most hurt of all. "Lily, how could you lie to us for 3 years?" she'd asked, tears streaming down her face. And now, 3 months later, they'd decided that my presence at Mom's 55th birthday would create drama. I picked up my phone and typed back, "Okay." Then I opened my laptop and pulled up the travel confirmation I'd been keeping as a surprise for the past 6 weeks. 2 first-class tickets to Paris, departing Saturday morning and returning the following Sunday. A week-long stay at the Four Seasons Hotel George V, in a suite overlooking the Champs-Élysées. Private tours of the Louvre and Versailles. Dinner reservations at Le Muris and L'Ambroisie. A Seine River cruise with champagne service. Total cost, $47,000. It was meant to be Mom's dream trip, the vacation to Paris she'd been talking about since I was a child but had never been able to afford. I'd planned to surprise her at her birthday dinner with the tickets and a passport rush service to make sure she could travel immediately. But apparently I wasn't invited to her birthday dinner anymore. My assistant Marina knocked on my office door. "Lily, your 5 o'clock is here." "Cancel it," I said, still staring at the travel confirmation on my screen. "And hold my calls for the rest of the day. Is everything all right?" I looked up at Marina, who'd been with me for 2 years and had become more than just an assistant. She was one of the few people who knew about my complicated relationship with my family. "Family issues," I said simply. After Marina left, I sat in my office thinking about the past 3 years. About all the times I'd bitten my tongue when Dad lectured me about fiscal responsibility, while I was secretly managing a multimillion-dollar business. About Jessica's constant offers to help me network for better opportunities, while I was being courted by Fortune 500 companies for consulting contracts. About Mom's worried phone calls asking if I was eating enough, if I could afford my rent, if I needed money for groceries. All while I was living in a $3.2 million penthouse and driving a Tesla that cost more than Dad's annual salary. I'd kept the charade going because I'd wanted to see who they really were when they thought I had nothing. And now I had my answer. My phone buzzed with another group chat message. "Jessica again. Just to be clear, we're having the party at Olive Garden like planned. Lily, maybe you could send a card or something?" Olive Garden. For Mom's 55th birthday, they were taking her to Olive Garden. I picked up my phone and called the concierge service I used for special arrangements. "Meridian Concierge, this is David. How can I help you today, Ms. Thompson?" "David, I need you to arrange for a special delivery tomorrow morning. Of course. What kind of delivery? I need a set of travel documents delivered to Patricia Thompson at 847 Maple Avenue. First-class tickets to Paris, hotel confirmations, restaurant reservations, the whole package. I want it delivered as a birthday surprise with flowers and champagne. That sounds lovely. Should we include a card? Yes. Right. Happy 55th birthday, Mom. You deserve to see the world. Love, Lily. And if she has questions about the trip? Include our 24-hour concierge number. Tell her everything is taken care of and she just needs to pack a bag. After I hung up, I leaned back in my chair and tried to imagine Mom's face when she opened the package. Would she be excited? Confused? Would she call to thank me, or would the family convince her not to go? My phone rang 20 minutes later. Lily. Her voice was shaky, emotional. Hi, Mom. Sweetheart, I just got the most incredible package. Tickets to Paris? A week at the Four Seasons? Lily, this must have cost a fortune. You've been talking about visiting Paris since I was 10 years old. I wanted to make it happen for your birthday. But honey, I can't accept this. It's too expensive. Mom, I can afford it. Lily, I know you said you were doing well with your business, but this is thousands of dollars. 47,000 actually. I heard her gasp. $47,000? Lily, that's more than your father makes in a year. I know. Sweetheart, how can you possibly afford to spend that much money on a vacation? I looked around my office, at the awards on my walls, at the view of the city I'd helped shape with my events and developments. Mom, can I tell you something? Of course. When I told you all about my business 6 months ago, you thought I was exaggerating. We thought you were trying to make yourself sound more successful than you were. I was actually downplaying it. There was a long pause. What do you mean? I mean, my company generated $89 million in revenue last year. I have 127 employees across 4 states. I'm not just doing well, Mom. I'm incredibly successful. 89 million, she whispered. The Paris trip isn't a financial stretch for me, Mom. It's a Tuesday afternoon impulse buy. I could hear her crying softly on the other end of the phone. Lily, why didn't you tell us how successful you really were? Because I did tell you and you didn't believe me. You accused me of lying and playing games. We thought you were exaggerating to make us feel better. No, Mom. I was trying to share my success with the people I love and you made me feel like I was bragging. Oh, sweetheart, I'm so sorry. Mom, do you know what the family group chat said today? What group chat? I realized she hadn't seen the messages. Jessica had probably created a separate chat without Mom to discuss, excluding me. Never mind. The important thing is your birthday. Are you going to go to Paris? I don't know. It's so sudden and I don't even have a passport that's current. The concierge service can expedite your passport. You could be on a plane Saturday morning. But what about my birthday dinner with the family? I felt a stab of pain. What about it? Well, we're all supposed to go to dinner Saturday night. You were supposed to be there too, but Jessica said you couldn't make it. So that's how they'd framed my exclusion. Not that they'd uninvited me, but that I couldn't make it. Mom, would you rather spend your 55th birthday at Olive Garden with the family, or sipping champagne at the top of the Eiffel Tower? Lily, that's not fair. I love my family. I love our family too, Mom. But sometimes love means recognizing when people are treating you poorly. What do you mean? I realized this was the moment. The moment to tell Mom the truth about what had really happened in that group chat. Mom, the family didn't want me at your birthday party. They said my presence would cause drama. That's not. Who said that? Jessica. With Mark and Dad's agreement. They uninvited me from your birthday celebration because they're still upset that I'm more successful than they thought I was. The silence stretched so long I thought the call had dropped. Mom? Are you there? I'm here, she said quietly. Lily, is that really what happened? Check the family group chat. Look at the messages from this afternoon. I waited while she presumably looked at her phone. Oh my God, she whispered. Lily, I had no idea. I thought you just couldn't make it because of work. How you know? This is unacceptable. You're my daughter. Of course you should be at my birthday celebration. Mom, it's okay. I understand why they're uncomfortable with me now. No, it's not okay. Lily, you're successful and accomplished, and instead of celebrating that, we made you feel ashamed. What kind of family does that? I felt tears starting to form in my eyes. This was the reaction I'd been hoping for 6 months ago. So what do you want to do about your birthday? I asked. I want to go to Paris, she said firmly. And I want you to come with me. Mom, the tickets are for you and Dad. Your father can go to Olive Garden with Jessica and Mark. He can explain to them why his wife is spending her birthday in France instead of at a chain restaurant. I couldn't help but smile. Are you sure? Lily, my daughter, just offered to take me on a $47,000 vacation to the city of my dreams. I'd be crazy to turn that down for breadsticks and salad. The next morning, my concierge service called to confirm that Mom's expedited passport would be ready by Friday afternoon. By Thursday, she called me 3 times with questions about what to pack and whether she needed to learn any French phrases. Friday evening, Dad called. Lily, your mother says she's going to Paris tomorrow instead of coming to her birthday dinner. That's right. She says you're taking her. I am. Lily, this is ridiculous. She should be with her family on her birthday. She's going to be with family, Dad. She's going to be with me. You know what I mean. With all of us. Dad, all of you uninvited me from her birthday celebration. You can't complain when she chooses to spend it with the daughter you excluded. We didn't uninvite you. We just thought. You thought it would be better if I wasn't there because my success makes everyone uncomfortable. There was a long pause. Lily, that's not what we meant. It's exactly what you meant. And now Mom gets to choose between a family dinner at Olive Garden with people who are embarrassed by their daughter's achievements, or a week in Paris with the daughter who loves her enough to make her dreams come true. When you put it that way, that's the only way to put it, Dad. Saturday morning, I picked Mom up at 5 a.m. for our flight to Paris. She was practically bouncing with excitement, clutching her new passport like it was made of gold. I can't believe we're really doing this, she said as we settled into our first-class seats. Believe it, Mom. You deserve this. As our plane took off, Mom looked out the window and then at me. Lily, can I ask you something? Anything. Are you happy? Really happy? I thought about the question. About my successful business, my beautiful apartment, my financial security. About the family who had made me feel unwelcome at a birthday celebration. I'm happier now than I was yesterday, I said. Why? Because yesterday I was successful but lonely. Today I'm successful and sharing Paris with my mom. He took my hand and squeezed it. I'm proud of you, sweetheart. Not because of your money or your business. I'm proud because you're generous and kind and you still love us even when we don't deserve it. Mom, you always deserve it. What about Jessica and Mark and Dad? I looked out the airplane window at the clouds below us. They deserve it too. But they need to learn how to accept it. Over the next week in Paris, Mom and I talked more honestly than we had in years. I told her about the loneliness of success, about the difficulty of maintaining relationships when people can't see past your bank account. She told me about her fears as a mother, about wanting to protect me from disappointment, about not understanding that I was already stronger than she'd given me credit for. I want to understand your business, she said over dinner at Le Muris on Tuesday night. Why? Because my daughter built something incredible and I want to know how she did it. As I explained the intricacies of event management and hospitality development, I watched Mom's face light up with genuine interest and pride. You know what I want to do when we get home, she said. What? I want to throw you a celebration party. A real one where we invite people and brag about how successful you are and show off all your awards. Mom, you don't have to. Yes, I do. I need to make up for 6 months of making you feel like your success was a problem instead of a miracle. When we returned from Paris the following Sunday, there were 17 missed calls on my phone. All from family members who had apparently spent the week seeing Mom's Facebook posts from the Louvre, the Eiffel Tower, and Versailles. Jessica's voicemail was particularly contrite. Lily, I saw Mom's pictures from Paris. I can't believe you took her on such an amazing trip. I think we need to talk when you get back. Dad's message was simpler. Lily, I owe you an apology. A big one. But it was Mark's voicemail that surprised me most. Hey Lily, it's Mark. I've been thinking about what happened and I realize I've been a terrible brother. Your success doesn't threaten me. I was just jealous and too proud to admit it. Can we start over? 3 days after we returned from Paris, the entire family gathered at my penthouse for what Mom insisted on calling my success celebration dinner. She made them all look at my business awards, read the magazine articles about my company, and listen to me explain how I'd built everything from the ground up. I want to work for your company, Jessica said over dessert. Not because I need a job, but because I want to learn from my little sister. I want to understand your investment strategies, Mark added. Maybe you could teach me how you grew your business so quickly. Dad was quieter, but when he finally spoke, his words carried more weight. Lily, I'm proud of you. Not just for your success, but for your character. You had every right to write us off after how we treated you, but instead you took your mother to Paris and gave her the trip of a lifetime. As I looked around my dining room at these people who had hurt me and excluded me and finally learned to celebrate me, I realized that sometimes the most expensive gift you can give someone isn't a $47,000 vacation. Sometimes it's the gift of showing them who you really are and giving them the chance to love that person properly. Same time next week? I asked as they were getting ready to leave. Same time next week, Mom agreed. But Lily. Yeah, Mom. Next time someone in this family has a birthday, we're not going to Olive Garden. I laughed. Where are we going? Wherever you think we should go. You clearly have better taste than the rest of us.